Composite Gloves here, and this is the 39th video in the Kontakt from the Ground Up tutorial series. And today we're going to be talking about the stereo modular, just kidding, the stereo modeler. And what it does is it does pretty much what it sounds like. It models your stereo signal, and it does it kind of a cool way. And so stereo modeling is basically you take a signal that sits in your stereo field a certain way. Maybe it's harder on your left than on your right, or harder on your right, or maybe it's just dead center and it's a mono signal. And then you can send it to the outer edges of your speakers, so it's like sounds farther out, maybe a big room sound, or you can have it kind of in the middle but on the out edges as well, and all these things. So we're going to talk about this. To start off, we have a bypass and a preset button. Oh yeah, and they have presets for this, so just so you know. And then we have our I believe it's pronounced posueto. I don't know, maybe I'm saying it wrong, but anyways, what it is, there's actually scholarly papers published on this because it has to do with DSP. So a posueto, what it does is if you have a mono signal, by the way, I have a choir loaded up on I right now. I just love the choirs. So what it will do is it'll take a stereo signal and it will basically clone your signal and send it out your left and right individually. And this can create some interesting side effects if you use it on a stereo signal, because it's not really mono friendly, because it's taking a mono signal and turning it stereo. So the mono signal you'll hear, which if you don't know what mono is, it's basically a signal. It sounds like it's in the middle of your speakers because there's only one path. So both your left and right get the same amount of movement. They get the same amount of signal, and since they move at the same rate, it sounds like the sound is in the middle of your speakers, even though there's no speaker there. And so what this will do is it'll clone that. And as you can see, if you have a stereo channel and then you clone it and make it more stereo, see, it just doesn't work out. It gets weird. And so you'll get some unusual results. Like this is already stereo. You can tell just they have at least some stereo things going on if we turn it on. You can hear it click on and off. Sometimes this will create a rather noticeable effect. Sometimes it won't. With a mono signal, it'll definitely help you with that. Then we have our spread. And when you turn it to the left, it'll make your signal mono. It even labels it mono. And as you go farther to the left, it'll make it mono. At 0, it'll set the signal at what it was. So whatever your original signal was, if it's stereo, it'll remain at its original stereo. And then you have spread, which this will move it from being mono to the outer edges. So if we look at our little graph right here, it'll move it to the outer left and outer right of your speakers. And so there actually won't be any sound in the middle at all. And it's sort of the same thing that happens if you use this incorrectly, unless you're going for that. Sometimes I want things only on the edge with like nothing in the middle. And so that's a cool way of doing that. So if we turn it, that's mono. And if we go out, and on headphones, this is where mixing in headphones can become quite interesting, because you don't really get a great sense of space with headphones. You do as with monitors. So you got to think about what your audience will be listening on, because stereo images sound quite different on headphones versus monitors. And then you have this pan button. So it pans the center, so it's sending the signal to both, and it's a okay, let me say that again. So it's panning to the center, and it works like any other pan knob. I've never explained pan knob before, I guess. But if you have, right now it's sending equal amounts of signal to both the left and right. If you turn it to the left, it's sending a little bit more to the left speaker than the right, and then you can go all the way to the right, so everything is only going to the right speaker, or only to the left. And then you have all that in-between stuff. And so you may consider using this. Now, this is also on the source module, or anyways, there's a variety of other places where a pan knob will show up. It's not on the source module. I believe on some options there is a pan knob. But anyways, if you ever see pan, that's pretty much what it does. And you have the output just like all the other ones. And that is what it is. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Subscribe, because you are making music, and that inspires me. And when you subscribe, it inspires me even more. And have a blessed day.